Hello, welcome back to Salty Sunshine. You're joined by your host Lisa. I am so excited that it's fall. September 1st, there's this huge debate going on online. September 1st is not the end of summer. Actually, it is. It's just culturally known. September 1st marks the first day that summer's done. Kids are back in school. The air's crisp. The mosquitoes are less. It is the end of fall. Labor Day, period. That's how it works. Even meteorologists go by that. So maybe there's a technicality that it's a few days more in September, but guess what? For the majority of the world, that's what it is here in the US. So fall is here, pumpkin spice is out, pumpkin patches are getting ready, and I'm so excited. Um, I love the fall. I hate summers in Miami. It's brutal, disgusting. We don't even get cold weather in the winter. Let's be real. The fall and the winter here don't exist. We don't get the season changes, which I would love to move somewhere that I do. Like Bree lives in Austin, and they have season changes, which is so nice. But at least I'll take what I can get with less mosquitoes, a little bit cooler air, and what else? Less, just nicer. Um, it's been raining nonstop here though, so that I would love for that to go away. What I saw this article, the fall for the pumpkin stuff. I love to carve a pumpkin, but let's be real, it's a lot of work. It's a big mess. But you can also get like different color size pumpkins. Even if you get the plastic ones, you can get fake ones, you can get real ones. But they have all different. They don't have to be orange. You can paint them any color you want. You can buy fake ones. I saw this TikTok of a lady that was in Walmart, and she said that they had really pretty kind of paper mache, um, like terracotta, black, neutral, off white, like kind of fun, ghosts and pumpkins. So I did see an article though that you can get creative and you can either paint on them, you can put glitter on them, you can put face masks like for parties, like those nice masks. You can put those on the pumpkins. That looks really fun. You can put ribbon. You can put lace. You can cut up a piece of lace, put it on the top, make it really nice. You can get really creative and fun, and you can even poke holes on the top and get branches and make like a pumpkin tree. So you can get branches, stick them in the holes on the top, and then hang bats, ornaments, stuff like that. I really love these fall magazines with all the ideas and stuff. It's so fun. So as far as fashion trends for the fall, it's pretty fun too. Silk scarves are all the rage. Who doesn't love a silk scarf? I actually saw with Love Megan, she was making I forgot what she called it. It was kind of interesting. It was a big kind of shallow container that she put water in, and then she put like paint inside the water, and I don't know how it stuck or stayed in certain areas, and then you dunk a scarf or a piece of fabric in there and it colored it and you hang it to dry. It was really fun, and she made the scarves for her guests. I've said it before, I love that show. Apart from my opinions about her, which who cares because we don't know her, it's not that personal, but I really like the show. And so silk scarves are in, low-rise jeans and baggy in particular, low-rise baggy jeans or just low-rise jeans, pencil skirts, which who doesn't love a pencil skirt? I am obsessed with pencil skirts, especially if they have a little slit in the back. Barn jackets, um, knee-high socks. So that's one of the trends I could never get into because I just feel like a little kid. But knee-high socks, I can't pull it off personally. Rubber boots, leopard print. I think leopard print is always in, no matter what time of year. Textured, like velvets, textured materials, velvets, jewel tones, lace, rich colors like reds, browns, Western boots, cowboy boots. Hello. That's always been in for me, but it's a big thing now on the runways. I even saw it on Project Runway. They had I think it was this week's episode or last week's, they had a Western challenge. If you guys are not watching Project Runway, it's such a good show. I'm obsessed with that show. Between that and With Love, Megan, I need a whole DIY room. I need a sewing room / Project Runway room / crafts. I want to do it all. Riding boots are really in. I know Fry boots are having a moment. Those boots are so expensive though. I would try to find a cheaper option. And then romantic ruffles. Who doesn't love a ruffle? I love a ruffle on a tank top. I love a ruffle. It doesn't have to be a lot of ruffles. You can minimize the ruffles, but just the detail of a ruffle is so feminine and sexy to me. I love a ruffle. And checks and plaids. So that's our fall fashion. It's so fun. You should clean out your closet, get rid of stuff to make room for cute trending stuff. I made a video. I noted that I was reading. So we're reading The Note by Alistair Burke. That's our book for August, September, which Brie and I will review soon. And I always finish them early because I read a lot more than Brianna, but I like to read. My new thing now is I'll read a chick lit, a fiction juicy book, and simultaneously I'll read a memoir type nonfiction book. So that I can do because it's so different. I can do it simultaneously, and when I'm in the mood for one, I read one, and when I'm in the mood for the other, I do that. So I was reading the Namaste Club, which is my juicy, and then I was reading Kelsey Grammer's memoir of his sister. It's called Karen. So it was on the waiting list forever. I finally got my hands on it. And when I tell you, I tried to read it consistently 5 to 7 times. I didn't want to give up on it because I wanted, to know the story, but it was the way it was written was so not my style. It's not my style book. I did not want to pick it up again. I like Kelsey Grammer. I like learning about people's lives, and I did learn a little more about him and his upbringing, but it basically read as if it was his teenage diary. And he grabbed a bunch of papers, stuck them together, and it's all over the place. He goes from one thought to the next, and he'll bring up someone and say, I'll get to him later. And it was constant. It was constant. We'll get back to this person. We'll get back to this night. We'll get back to that. It was kind of frustrating, and it made it not enjoyable to read. Obviously, it's a tragedy that his sister was brutally assaulted and murdered. So obviously it's not supposed to be enjoyable read for me, but you want to read. It wasn't free flowing for me to continue to read the story and take it in. It doesn't it talks more about him and his memories of her and her friends and the people they knew, and that's all fine, but if it doesn't flow correctly, it's really hard to stay wanting to read it. So I had to stop mid book, even less than mid. I had to make an executive decision and said, that's it. I can't do this. I'm bored to tears. So I stopped reading it. And he didn't mention with what I read though, anything about Camille Grammer, which I thought was interesting because he does reference his current wife. Her name is Kate. And he references her a lot. He references a lot of ex-girlfriends, and he references, himself growing up. I would put money he didn't mention Camille at all. And I think that he did a disservice if he didn't, because she is his ex-wife. He has 2 kids with her, and they were together for quite a while. I mean, maybe 10 years or less. I don't know. But it is a significant chunk. And if you're writing a memoir, you should involve all of your life aspects. You don't have to get into detail, but mention during this time. So I think he kind of avoided it at all costs because I think their divorce was so contentious. My God, if you guys remember on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it was so bad. But he didn't mention her from what I saw. And so when I put his book down, I picked up Christy Brinkley's memoir, and I'm so loving this book. When I tell you, if you guys are looking for a fun memoir and you love Christy Brinkley, which who doesn't, it's really fun. And I'm learning a lot about her, things I didn't know, and I'm really enjoying it. It's called Uptown Girl, a memoir, Uptown Girl, Christy Brinkley with Sarah Tolan. Really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I highly recommend. And I'm not even halfway through yet, and I'm like loving it. So I'm reading that and the Namaste Club, but we will review The Note with by Alistair Burke, which also was, I really liked it. All right, moving on. Dancing with the Stars. I'm so excited for the season. I haven't seen it in a lot of seasons. I kind of dropped off of watching it, but that renews September 16. And it's so funny because Jen Affleck, Jen Affleck from Real Secret Lies of Mormon Wives, her and her husband Zach, their whole storyline was him struggling with his conservative Mormon upbringing and jealousy and wanting not to control her, but kind of control her. And they've done a lot of work and they said they're in the best place ever. She just had a baby. She just had a baby like 6 to 8 weeks ago, and she's already practicing for Dancing with the Stars, which is premiering next week or the week after. And that's really incredible when you're young. That's why you should have kids young, people. This whole thing of waiting to I think it's insane to wait to your late 30s, 40s to have babies, only because we don't have the stamina and we don't have the energy we used to, period, point blank. That's biology. It just doesn't work. When you're in your early 20s, late 20s, you can pop out a baby, go on Dancing with the Stars, start performing and have 3 kids and not need that much sleep, and you can be stellar. I mean, that's just how it is. I miss those days so much. Now you're like counting. If I go out at 5 and I'm home by 8, I'll get this many hours of sleep. And then, oh my gosh, it's so sad getting older. No matter how many supplements you take, no matter what food you eat, no matter how much you exercise, you're never going to feel like you did when you were in your 20s. Anyway, so it's a funny running joke now. She got paired with the hottest guy on the show. His name is Jan Ravnik. I think he's from, I don't know if it was Ukraine or Slovenia, somewhere over there. And he's gorgeous. Like, he's not even gorgeous. He's like handsome. He looks like a man. Like, in his sweats, he's hot. Like, he's not like just a pretty guy. Like the other guy, Gleb. He's what you would say like a little bit pretty, but I wouldn't look at him twice because he's too pretty and too F-boy looking and gross. Like Jax Taylor. I don't know, gross. But this guy is manly and he's hot, like actually hot. So, I was wondering, is he gay? Is he not gay? And I was trying to look it up, and it said that he has kids and he has a girlfriend. So I think he's not gay. But it's just a running joke how funny, because Zach is jealous, and Zach apparently came on, I guess, some interview saying that him and Jan were already BFFs. And I'm sure he's trying his best, right? He has to trust his wife and they're in a good place and they're doing all this healthy work. So he has to do his best, but deep down inside, because I think it's hard for absolutely anybody would struggle if your spouse or your significant other is out there bumping uglies on stage, practicing 24 hours a day, getting so close to someone that is hot. We all know this. And you're dressed in skimpy outfits and whatever. So that's hard for anybody, but especially if you struggle with jealousy, which we all know Zach does, which is fine. It's not a big deal. I just think it's funny when you think about it, because she got paired with the hottest one there. And he's not gay. So I can't wait to watch. And then they were saying Whitney's a dancer. She's a professional dancer. She took dance I think she studied dance. That was her major in college. So she's a great dancer. She'll probably win. They're saying it's not fair, but remember last season, I don't know if it was last season, whatever that was, when, what's her name? Charlie D'Amelio was on. She's also a professional dancer. And so, yeah, I don't know where they draw the line, because if you do have a leg up on everybody else, if you're a trained dancer, it's kind of not fair. So I don't know. I don't know about that. Secret Lies of Mormon Wives is coming back. There's so many shows coming already, so I'm very excited. The fall's packed with good stuff. Everyone's up in arms. Amazon, they're taking away the second party sharing of the account for free shipping and to use the benefits. I was confused by that, because I know that I think the people that before you could add a family member on and they would have their own account, but it's linked, and they were sharing membership services, but they took that away now, and they're doing what Netflix and Hulu, all the sharing. They're stopping all the sharing because they're greedy mofos, and everyone should just take this opportunity and cancel Amazon. Amazon needs to go away. Not go away completely. We need Amazon for random things that you can't find in the stores or whatever. But I think we should go back to the way we used to live. The malls, go in person, socialize, get out of the house, shop in person, look, feel, touch your items. Amazon is ruining it. We already know this. So I think this is the great opportunity for people to just use Amazon less. You don't have to get rid of it, just use it less. And not having the free shipping might help with that, right? The cost is astronomical. It's like $140 or something. It's stupid expensive. It used to be when they first started, you had the music and Amazon Prime TV ad free. I could listen before to any song and I could put it in a playlist and there was no ads. And now you can't even choose the song. If you go to choose like a particular song, they don't let you and you have to shuffle and hope it comes on at some point. And I think that's such BS to pay that much money. We don't even get the 2-day shipping. The shipping's always late. There's always a problem. They don't have, you can't call anybody. It's like a pain in the ass. I think we should just steer away from this crap. The Prime TV also is full of commercials. You have to pay not to have commercials. It's like, what is happening? People are taking so much advantage of us as consumers. And I think we should fight back. Fight back with your wallet and use it less. You don't have to go cold turkey. Just use it less. This is great. I think we should go back to the way we lived in the 90s, early 2000s and get out of the house and bring back brick and mortar. We need brick and mortar. That's the fun part of life. I saw this other story that was interesting. There's a yoga studio in Miami called Mimi Yoga. And I think this is a big deal in a lot of yoga studios or exercise classes in general. And I think they should ban this nationwide in all gyms, all everything. The recording in public is out of control. And when you're exercising, especially for women, it's pretty vulnerable. And you don't want people looking at you. You don't want to be in the background of someone's video that's online. And so on August 31st, this yoga studio announced the new rule that hit hard in the city of influencers. That's another thing. Can we change the name influencer? You're just like self-proclaimed. Just because you have a lot of people that look at you doesn't mean you're an influencer. Influencer means you're influencing someone. If you're popular, that doesn't automatically equate to influencing. So can we change it from influencer to social media person? Social media-er? Because to influence someone is a big deal. That's kind of some power over the person. And I don't think all these people are influencers. But anyways, I just went down a rabbit hole. No more filming during class. So this is their statement. We know some of you love to film. We get it. You're probably disappointed. However, we need to honor our commitment to creating a space where everyone feels comfortable moving, stretching, and being present without distraction. Mimi, which is technically a yoga studio, but is also celebrated for the heated mat Pilates classes at Wynwood and Coconut Grove, said the policy is effective immediately. If you cannot comply, you'll be asked to leave the class and your class will not be refunded. It's been considering implementing the ban for months. She says it has always had a no filming policy, but exceptions were made for clients who filmed in the back row without capturing other students in their videos. Our instructors consistently announce these guidelines at the start of each class, but unfortunately, students weren't adhering to the rules. This led us to implement a complete filming ban during regularly scheduled classes to maintain the integrity of our space. During special events, workshops, and yoga and Pilates training, students are also welcome to film themselves before and after class. Asked about the proposal for a dedicated filming class, Gander says she's not entirely opposed to exploring this option. It's important to remember that we are yoga's Pilates studio, not a content creation facility. People need to put the phones away. I'm so sick of people videotaping in public. It's just like a violation. It's a total violation. And I think I spoke last week on that story of the author of the book I'm reading, The Namaste Club. Her name is Asha Elias, and she spoke about she was just sitting there having her coffee, and some guy came up to her talking to her with sunglasses on, and they were Meta glasses that she wasn't aware of, and he uploaded the whole conversation to his stupid Instagram without notifying her that this was being videotaped, and it's scary, and I don't like it. It's just stop going into people trying to ask them questions, stop violating people's privacy. all the videos of people can't just walk into a restaurant. It's just like, stop it. So I like this. I like that they're doing this. I think they should ban it in all of the gyms when people just put the phone down and you're filming everyone behind you. I mean, the girl could be picking a wedgie or a guy, or I don't know, they could fall, or they don't look great in that angle that you have. And it's just like, why? It's annoying. It's hard enough to get to the gym, and to have to worry about that, that sucks. That sucks. They should implement it everywhere. That's what I think. Sophia with an F got engaged to a mystery man the same day Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged. So Sophia with an F is Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy, her ex and initial podcast partner. And unless you live under a rock, you know about their breakup and how it went crazy. So Sophia with an F, which is such a funny name, right? Because her name is spelled Sofai. She's engaged, so congrats to her. I find her voice so annoying. I know that's mean to say, but I did at first when they first broke up. Sophia with an F had a really hard time because obviously she got, because of her own actions, she got the no deal, right? So Alex Cooper went on and kept getting paid, and Sophia with an F was left in the cold and all of that. But she had to start new. She had to move back home. She lived in her mom's basement. I remember back then, and she started her own podcast, Sophia with an F. And I listened a little bit, but she's a little trashy. Not her, but her content. So I didn't love. At some point, I stopped listening because her voice and the topics, I kind of got bored. So I haven't listened in a while. Maybe I'll go back and check it out, see what she's talking about. I know she had this thing called Sloot University, which is like slang for slut. That whole vibe, it's very juvenile. So I kind of got over it, but I did give it a try back in the day to support her. Um, I mean, obviously on the business terms, I was on Alex's side because I do think if you're given a great opportunity, don't be a brat and ask for $1 million when you've been doing it for 6 months and you're still under contract. And I think her stupidity with the greed really burned her. And then Alex was smarter and said, okay, I'll take it. And then once it's up, we'll renegotiate, whatever. So, yeah. So she's engaged, and apparently no one knows who he is. I always find that interesting. When people like are dating someone and no one knows who they are, aren't they like seen in public walking down the street when they go out, to eat, and no one like films them? And anyways, good for her. Um, I know she's had, back when I listened to her, she had a lot of dating stories. It was kind of wild, and to find your one is fun. The Heat, Miami Heat, if you guys are into basketball. So, Coach Eric Spoelstra has agreed to an 8-year contract extension worth more than $120 million, the most committed money in North American coaching history. Spoelstra, 53, has established himself as one of the most respected and successful coaches in professional sports, and the new deal reflects both his and the organization's desire to keep him with the only franchise he's ever worked for in the NBA. So he's only worked for Miami Heat. Spoelstra, who has won 2 championships and reached the NBA Finals 6 times, is the NBA's second highest paid coach on an annual basis, behind Greg Popovich at $19 million per season. But the length of Spoelstra's deal separates him financially from his peers. Miami is tied for 5th place in the Eastern Conference with 21-15 record, despite a revolving door of injuries to key players all season. Spoelstra has been Miami's coach since 2008, when he was appointed to replace Hall of Famer Pat Riley. Since then, Spoelstra has become one of 14 coaches in NBA history to win 2 titles. As an 8th seed last season, the Heat made a remarkable run through the Eastern Conference playoffs to eventually lose to the Denver Nuggets. He trails only Popovich in terms of tenure with a single franchise and is third behind Popovich and Indiana Pacers coach Rick Carlisle among active coaches, games won 2-7-2-5. I don't know much about sports as far as technicals, so this means nothing to me. I'm just looking at the number of his contract. But what's interesting about this is, I'm not going to read this whole thing because, again, it's just like a bunch of sports jargon. But the reason I thought this was an interesting article is that the Heat waited until his divorce was final to give him this extension so it wouldn't be part of his divorce. Now that is shady. That is so freaking shady. So I think he was, let me see how long he was married. I wonder if that's legal. So his divorce was finalized in late 2023, and then he had announced his 120 million contract extension in January 2024. So right after he got divorced, they offered him that. And the timing sparked speculation that the Heat's decision was a calculated move to protect Scotia's personal financial interest by ensuring the new earnings wouldn't be considered marital property, a detail that became a talking point online. Well, obviously, it's very obvious that they were in cahoots. So his divorce was finalized in November and he was offered it in January. That is some strategy. How pissed would you be if you were that wife? Oh my God. Um It sucks. I wonder if she can take them back like retroactive because of child support and stuff. I figure they have kids. Whatever. She probably got a ton of money anyways, but that's why I thought I found it juicy. But congrats, Eric, whoever you are. I should go to the Heat games. It's just like when you go to the Miami Heat games here downtown, there's no parking and it's so much traffic and it's always after work on a weekday. So that sucks. The last thing I wanted to talk about is some work bathroom controversy. So if bathroom talk grosses you out, skip this. Skip this end part. So yeah, I've always worked, in offices and stuff, usually smaller offices. Now I'm with a bigger office. But there's an article that I saw, or a news segment actually, and they were saying that 84% of this group of people they talked to, and they were younger people, were having so much bathroom anxiety. And it's such a real thing. I was laughing because I've always thought about this and I'll talk about it sometimes, but I feel like people don't talk about it enough. The way that people, if you have a bathroom stall, and it depends the way it's structured. Sometimes I like the ones in the restaurants where they're full closed, like you close the door and you have a full closed little cubby and you have some privacy. There's other ones that have like the metal doors that you could see. You're in a stall and right next to you there's cracks between, so if you walk and look long enough you could see inside, which is so annoying. There's no privacy. And also you could see their feet. If something falls on the floor, you could see their clothes. Like there's no privacy. And those bathrooms are the worst. And especially if there's only 2 or 3 stalls, it's disgusting, right? Because there's not enough bathrooms for everybody. And then anyways, so people are dreading it, and they say that they even take days off to calculate if they have a stomach ache or whatever, if they came back from vacation and they're off. And then others are saying like they'll avoid certain times in the bathroom, like maybe heavier traffic times. And then others will say if there's a certain person in the bathroom, they'll avoid it, which I feel that's so hard. There was this one place I worked at and there was 2 stalls in the bathroom, and this one lady, and she was the owner, like she was one of the owners or partners of the place, and it was so foul every single day. I'm like, dude, did this woman wait to go to the bathroom when she gets to work and then blow up the bathroom, and then the entire day is disgusting and you can't go to the bathroom? And I drink so much liquid in the morning. I have 2 huge cups of coffee. I have my little juice concoction that I take my supplements with, and then I get into my lemon water and I drink so much. And then sometimes I'll drink my protein shake, depending on what I take that day, whether it's yogurt with fruit, protein shake, blah, blah, blah. I drink so much liquid in the morning that I go to the bathroom at least 5 times, and it's like before 11. And I used to get so upset, and I'm like, somebody needs to say something. Like, it's so disgusting. This one, and she was married, and I'm like, what does she do on the weekend? Or what does she do at night? Because does she have her own bathroom at home? Because there's no way a marriage can survive if your bathroom is so bad every day. I don't know. Like, I don't know what kind of guy would not be so grossed out, even though guys are gross. But like, this was bad. There's a difference between regular bathroom smell, because the bathroom smells, right? But there's regular bathroom smell. And when you do number 2, there's a regular number 2 that it goes away quick and it just smells like regular 2. But then there's other people like this woman that it's a bomb that went off, that it's something bizarre, then that should only happen once every 6 months when you have a bad stomach ache. And that shouldn't happen every day. And that's what was happening with her. And I was just like, does anybody care? And I would tell this one girl that I was friendly with, I'm like, can we talk about this? And she would laugh. And I'm like, this is so inconsiderate. We're 7 women using this 2 stall bathroom and she's blowing it up every day at 10 o'clock. And now I can't even go to the bathroom. Like I would have to go in and leave because it was so bad. And I'm like, she has no consideration for everybody. And someone should tell her. And what really pissed me off is then you would see what she would eat for lunch. Every day she was ordering pizza and spaghetti and all the stuff that, if you have that kind of issue in the bathroom, you shouldn't be eating so poorly on top of it. Like you're making it worse. So, anyways, I know TMI, but it's a real thing. Work bathroom anxiety is a real thing. And so you go to the bathroom and there's nothing worse than you hear someone doing their business and then you see them and it's so uncomfortable and you have to go back to work. Like that didn't happen. Tell me, do you guys ever have that? I want to hear people's stories because I know I'm not the only one. And I've always thought this is so crazy. Like you should actually eat differently while you're going to work. If you have that kind of bathroom that it's you're so close and it's an issue. Like there's other offices that there's never anyone in the bathroom, right? Or maybe there's it's a huge bathroom and then there's 1 or 2 sparingly people and it's not a big deal and it's never a problem. That is ideal. But then you have bathrooms like I've experienced that it's like 2 or 3 stalls and a million people and it's a problem because there's always someone in the bathroom and there's always someone that has bad bathroom habits. And that lady is not the only one that I've experienced. Like recently I experienced someone that it's every time the bathroom is bombed, I'm like, oh my, it's the same person. You can see the shoes that they're wearing from another stall, and then you see what they order, and you're like, you eat like shit, and you blow up the bathroom. Like, can somebody have some common sense? Like, it's so crazy. It's just so crazy that we have to deal with this. Like, eat less. I personally, I would never eat like a huge lunch. Like, God forbid I get a stomach ache at work. I would die. I would leave. I would leave the office because there's no way I'm going to have that situation at a work bathroom. But I would love to hear people's stories because it is a thing. And when I saw this news segment on it, I was like, yes. The guy went as far as to say that they were thinking of quitting. Like these kids are like, I can't take it. This bathroom etiquette, it's so bad and I'm uncomfortable every day. So I feel your pain because I feel the same way. Oh my gosh. Anyways, all right. Have a great rest of your week. Until next time, and happy fall. Bye.